Hi everybody, my name is Prasadini Shetty and you're listening to a brand new episode of Say It With Me folks, Movie Review Mondays. So this one is a special episode because I have a special guest with me here at the HyperJump Studio.
Hello.
We have with us Siddharth Sampat, the head of camera here at Hyperjump Productions. Sid, do you want to introduce yourself to the many viewers?
So my name is Sid. As Prasadini has so sweetly introduced me, yes, I am the head of the camera department here at our company. And we have been working together since, 9 months now? 9?
Yes.
10 months?
Yes.
No, 9 months.
9 months, I think since September last year.
Yeah.
Yep. Fun fact, he was actually the one who interviewed me for this job. Not this job, not the podcast, but at HyperJump.
Yeah, and there not a day goes by where I don't regret my decision.
Yes, so that's why if you're interviewing somebody, be very careful.
Yes, very.
Sid, before we start this podcast, I want to ask you a very important question.
Yeah, what's that?
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Is this just a callback to my interview with you?
Yes. You were very nervous because it was your first time interviewing anybody, right?
In ever, I had never interviewed anyone in my life before. So yeah, I didn't know. I was asking very cliche questions, but I also did get to know you better.
Yeah.
And I mean, genuinely speaking, I do feel like I made a good decision. So yeah.
He wasn't paid to say that, but
Yeah.
thank you. So Sid, first of all, I would say welcome to the podcast. It's great to have you.
I am happy to be here.
Yes, and this is a very special episode because not only do I have a guest with me, but he's also Indian, in case you guys didn't notice.
Really?
Shocking. And we decided to do a Bollywood movie because it's only befitting when there are two Indians in a room and they don't talk about Bollywood. Makes no sense.
100%, yeah.
So today we're going to be talking about the film Laapata Ladies on Netflix. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the movie?
So Laapata Ladies is a film directed by Kiran Rao. It came out in 2024. Why are you mouthing as a 2024. It's a comedy drama, and it is produced by Amir Khan Productions.
Yes.
Yes. This was not a script given to me by Prasadini. Not at all.
I wish it was though. Then it would have been smoother. Anyway, what is this movie about?
So, I read the synopsis of the film before watching it. It's about two married couples who recently get married, and then the ladies get mixed up. They get lost and they have to now find their way back home. After reading the synopsis, I thought, okay, it's a bit cliche, but I was still looking forward to it. And I like that this film kind of dove into the cliches because a beautiful story came out of it.
Agreed. For our English viewers, Laapata means lost or I guess missing. So the English translation for the title would be Lost Ladies. And it stars Pratibha Ranta, Sparshivastava and Nitanshi Goel. I'm going to quickly... Yes, and Ravi Kishan. Ravi Kishan is a very popular Indian actor. So I think we should dive into our thoughts on this film because both of us went into it blind.
Completely.
And I had to convince you a lot actually to watch the film. So I'm going to start off with... I want to know what was your favorite part of the film, something that stood out to you?
My favorite part of the film was... Okay, I'm gonna go back to my previous point of how this film dove into the cliches.
Okay.
To me, one of the cliche characters was the police officer.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw him, I was like, I hate this guy, I hate this character, but he's already my favorite character in the film.
Okay.
I know it's a bit contradicting to it's weird to say that, but I just somehow knew that he's gonna do something or say something that's gonna redeem him, or he'll just be a fun character to watch and just
hate on,
or just see how he interacts with the other characters. Okay. And my favorite part of the film was when his redemption scene happened, which was the scene that I almost cried in.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I actually agree because I think Ravi Kishan brought such a interesting charisma to this role. Because it could have been cliche because a lot of cops in Bollywood movies have this either they are very corrupted or they're very like, ooh, we're good cops, we're one of the good ones.
And there's always a side cop whose name is Dubey.
Yeah.
Which was here as well.
Exactly. But I think Ravi Kishan added such a funny, I think he was one of the funniest characters. Like every line he said.
Especially when he talks like this with a mouthful of tobacco.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, it's yeah.
And I think he's funny, but he was not over the top, which I think a lot of the times, a lot of comedy in Bollywood films comes from over the top characters, but he was very reserved. I think he was like very in his seat, and then he would like say his line, and it was so subtle. I just loved it.
It was like every scene he was in, he knew that if he did anything, he would still steal the show. So he didn't even need to try too hard. He was just doing his job, and it was just amazing to see him.
True. It was very like constrained, but in a good way. I think enough control.
Yeah.
I think. Speaking of funny characters, I think I really liked Sparsh Srivastava, the guy who plays Deepak, the husband.
Yeah.
I think, so by the way, he was like in, I don't know if you know this, but he was in Shake It Up Mumbai, which was the Indian version of Shake It Up Chicago.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he was one of the main, he was actually Zendaya's character in the Shake It Up Mumbai show.
I haven't seen either of those.
You're not missing out. There's nothing more to miss out. But what did you think of him as Deepak? As I think he's one of the like main characters. He's the driving force.
Yeah.
His wife goes missing.
Yeah.
What did you think of him?
I absolutely loved his character.
Okay.
It was the whole film was very grounded in reality.
Yeah.
Like all the characters were acting in a way that you would expect anyone to act in that way, especially
from a small town in India.
From a small village, small town.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, it's set in 2001.
Correct.
Yeah. So like it's very like I saw the the characters acting the way they were, and I was like, yeah, this kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Like nothing felt out of place.
Over the top, none of it.
Yeah, none of it. Like even the musical moments, even that felt like it was very sweet, very wholesome. Especially the scene where he tells his wife that he loves her.
It's very cute, and I like that it was like close up on them, so it was very intimate and very like, ooh, like he's looking around. He doesn't want anyone to hear him confessing his love to his wife.
And those aren't even like the kind of words you expect someone in India in a small village to say to their wife.
You speak about it being wholesome, and I feel like whoever has watched the film, whoever I've asked, like, oh, what did you think of them? They were like, oh, it was so cute and so wholesome. And I think the characters had the performers
100%.
had a huge part in that.
Yeah.
Because they added like this very small town charm, this very like naivety, innocence to it. Even the most cunning character, Pushpa / Jaya / Shreya, even though she was like the cunning one, at least that's what we are led to believe.
Yeah.
Until the end, I think even she had this like, I don't know, she felt very empathetic. Like for me, I think she was my favorite character in the film because, first of all, the actress is gorgeous. Secondly, I think she had a very strong performance for a newcomer. Her character and her acting, I think for me, brought so much heart to the film. And her dynamic with all these other characters, her acting, her performance, the way she was written as well, I think it was my favorite part about the film.
She was the one character who always had me on the edge of my seat.
Okay.
Because everything she was doing, it was very calculated, very cunning. At first I thought that she was going to be some sort of antagonist.
Yeah.
Like I was like, what's your game here? Like, why are you acting the way you are? Why are you... And then I thought maybe it's because she's running away from her husband, which was understandable, but she was still being a little like shifty.
They plant this one seed to your head when one of the grooms is reading the newspaper and it says bride bandit or something in Hindi. Yeah. And so this seed is planted in your head that she could be a bandit.
Complete misdirection.
And it's not obvious. It's very like, could be, I don't know.
It could have been foreshadowing or something, but I love that it was actually just misdirection. And just like, oh, what if it could be this? But no, it's actually just, she just wants to pursue studies.
Yeah.
Like, and the line that Deepak says in the end.
Yeah.
Don't ever apologize for having dreams.
Yeah.
Man, that broke me.
Yeah. I also like the exchange. It's safe to say that there are going to be a lot of spoilers.
We've already spoiled.
We've literally spoiled it now. So beware.
Spoiler alert, guys.
Yeah, beware. But in the end, when Pool and Jaya,
Yeah.
I think I'll call her
Jaya.
Jaya. And she's like, if it weren't for you, they wouldn't have found me. And Jaya's like, if it weren't for you, I wouldn't have found myself. I'll say it's a bit cheesy, but I feel like in the tone of the film, it feels very wholesome. It feels like it removed all the pretentiousness, and it's like, this is what it is.
Yeah.
That's how small towns in India. It's like मुंह पे बात बोल दी, sorry, Hindi. But
even with films that lean into the cheesiness or the cliche.
Yeah.
After having told a brilliant story and they still lean into that, I think it's forgivable.
It adds on to the whole wholesomeness of it, where, because they're not poets. They're not like this, pretentious beret-wearing people. They're very normal, down-to-earth people. They say it as it is.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to know, who was your favorite character throughout?
The police officer.
The police officer.
Like I hated him from the start, but I know that any character I hate, either the actor's doing a really good job, or like there's going to be something about the character that I'm going to like later on.
Yeah.
And like I said, just hands down, he's just always his performance I will not forget. The other characters, I'm not saying they are forgettable characters. I will remember this film. I will recommend this film to anyone who I speak to.
But he made an impression.
He made an impression on me, definitely.
I also wanted to shout out the Dadi character who takes in Pushpa, sort of.
Yes.
I think, I really, first of all, the performer was so good. Like, she had this sternness to her, but you knew that if you get to know her, she can be, under the tough exterior, there's this sweet, caring woman who just wants the best for whoever she takes in, be the little character, be Abdul, the guy who pretends to be, handicapped.
Yeah.
I think for me, this film had a lot of feminist undertones, I feel.
It wasn't even undertones. I would say it actually is just pushing positive feminism, if that's a thing. Is that it? Or it wasn't like toxic feminism,
okay.
or like just like girl power. It wasn't anything.
It wasn't girl bossy. It was quite genuine.
Exactly.
With it. Yeah.
Given that it was set in 2001, it was getting towards a progressive India.
Yeah, correct. Especially in small towns.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like we are where we are now because of women like that back in the day.
Yes. Speaking of the feminist undertones or overtones or tones, I also like the female relationships of, be it Pushpa with
her fool's sister-in-law. No, her sister-in-law.
Not fool.
Fool's actual sister-in-law.
Fool's actual sister-in-law. Yes, with Jaya, or the mother-in-law with her mother-in-law. Can we be friends? Do you think? She asks her mother-in-law, and mother-in-law, we can try. I think because the director herself is a woman, I feel like I've noticed that when we have more female directors, they add this tenderness to their female characters, which I think is missing most of the times when men write female characters or men direct female characters.
Yeah.
I thought the tenderness was so subtle, but it felt homely. It felt like, okay, these people are living in this home, in this house together. They are a joint family. And when you have new friendships, it feels very delicate and sweet.
Come to think of it, this film is essentially also a love story, but there's no sexual undertones at all in the entire film.
Yeah.
And you don't even notice it. There's no lack of it, as in you're not missing it, because the story is what drives the story.
Because the love is not only romantic, it's also platonic, it's also familial.
Exactly.
It's found family trope that I love. I think it was prevalent everywhere.
The found family trope, I'm also a huge fan of that.
Yeah.
I completely agree.
I think it's one of the most wholesome tropes to exist in cinema. And that's what adds on to the wholesomeness of this film as well. Okay, we've spoken about the writing. We both are very for it. funny. This movie was funny.
Hilarious. I was like cracking up, crying tears of laughter.
Yeah.
Like I will say this, right? The reason you had to convince me so much to watch this film is because, full disclosure, I don't watch Bollywood movies. I avoid Bollywood as much as I can, which is weird because I am Indian.
How could you? You're disappointing entire Indian population.
But the handful of Bollywood films that I do watch after having received good recommendations and then seeing it, like there are gems out there, and movies like this deserve more recognition than the movies that reach cinemas.
The mainstream success.
Exactly.
And this film has been getting a lot of mainstream acclaim.
It deserves it.
It
deserves like an Oscar for something.
So the Oscar committee, if you're watching this, the man himself needs this film to get an Oscar. So let's see what we can do about that.
And the Oscar for something goes to Laapata Ladies.
We did it, folks. I think this film felt very Amir Khan Productions.
Big time.
Because he has a way of picking projects or doing projects that have a lot of heart and soul to it. Mm-hmm. This film had a bunch of it. And it makes sense. And I think Kiran Rao was very good with her direction. Like, all the performers were hitting their marks. The film had this like warmth to it. Mm-hmm. Even the set, even the shots. There were a lot of shots which I was like, okay, I didn't expect this. Like, there's this one shot where Deepak gets drunk with his friends and he's trying to find his wife. Yeah. And he comes on a cycle and it's like a silhouette shot, so it's like all dark because of the sky. Yeah. And then I like the framing of it. I don't know. I really liked how a lot of Hindi films have that. Hindi is the official terminology. There was one where Fool is making Kalakand. And there's a kitchen scene, and again there's a silhouette thing. And I really was like, I don't know if I never paid attention to it, but I have not seen much of silhouette shots in Hindi films.
So what you're a bigger fan of is not the shots, but more the lighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of Hindi films always do warm lighting and very like dingy lighting. Not that there's any, I think it goes with the tone, but in this, they used like, those spotlights in a tapri, or they used a light coming. It's very normal. There's nothing crazy, but the way it's done, it's very subtle and it's very beautiful.
I like that this film didn't shy away from the wide shots, the wide establishing shots to show the set, to show the time period, and also to show the scale of the production. Yeah. Like it can be very easy to just cheat it, just stick to like medium close-ups, or close-ups, or just like wide shots that are enough to just show the set, but not like the whole village, for example,
or the whole railway station,
or like a drone shot or something. They had like multiple drone shots as well.
Can you refresh my memory, please?
If you watch, I mean, it's there in the film. I forget which scenes exactly, but there were like a couple.
Okay.
Okay, now that you mentioned that, even I'm doubting myself if there were. Point is, there were some good establishing wide shots.
And they didn't shy away from.
Exactly, and it could be like amazing set design, or it could just be really great locations that they found.
They actually did shoot this in Madhya Pradesh because they thanked the tourism department of Madhya Pradesh.
Yeah, they did.
So it's good because, see, in Hindi films, I don't think that's catching on. I think I should
It's not going to catch on.
I'm just going to say Hindi. They do very close-ups, obviously, because they have budget restraints and this and that. But here, they're like, okay, this is where we are. This is our world. This is what you see. So that was pretty cool of them. And it's good to show a small, I know I'm saying small town a lot. I meant the village. Honestly, I'm not sure if the village in the film is a fictional one, because when they gave us the name in 2001, I hadn't ever heard of it. So I'm going to assume that it's a fictional village, but it got the treatment of a mainstream Bollywood movie where it gave big shots and drones and this. I'm really trusting you in the drones.
You're making me doubt myself now. What if I just imagined it and it's not
probably.
actually
You're like, this
drone shots?
A drone shot would have been nice, right?
Yeah, maybe I'm just imagining it if I was the DP for the film. Or
Probably. I don't even think the movie exists.
Oh my gosh.
The movie does not exist.
Conspiracy theory.
Yeah. But okay, I think we've spoken about the writing, the performance, the shots, music. Thoughts. What were your thoughts on it?
The music didn't take me out of the film.
Okay.
Which I think is a very good thing.
Okay.
If a music is too over the top, like a musical or just any musical number or whatever, and
like there's sad scene happening, and it's like
exactly.
It wasn't that.
Or even just like sad violence or whatever. Like if it adds to the tone of the film, if it keeps the movie going and continuing with the story, and like the music didn't stand out to me.
Okay.
But that's because when I watch a film, I don't focus on the music. I focus more on the shots and how it looks.
Okay.
Naturally, as a DP, I would do that.
You're a visual person.
Exactly.
Okay.
But given that, like the music, even the musical numbers, right? Even the songs where Deepak is like missing his wife and there's like
Satrangire.
Sorry?
Satrangire, that's the name of it.
Yeah.
That song was a huge hit as well.
So it didn't take me out. It still kept me engaged in the film, in wanting to know what happened, in making me feel bad for the characters or happy for the characters as well.
Being invested in their journey.
So that is just a huge plus for me. It wasn't over the top. It was just right.
I think so. The music has been a hit, especially Satrangire, and I think the montage music where Jaya is through the market making payments, going to the post office, and the officer is following her. There's like this like Bharat type music.
Yes, I noticed that as well. I thought that was a really interesting choice, but it worked so well.
It was fun. It felt like a chase scene with very low stakes, but you're still invested. I mean, actually, there were no low stakes because you were rooting for her. Actually, I don't know. Who were you rooting for?
In that scene, I don't know. I was just like, I was kind of rooting for the police officer.
Okay.
Just kind of.
I was rooting for the girl, obviously. I really liked her. Like, I just want to say that because also she got a lot of screen time. I feel like if she would have messed it up, it would have taken me out of. Okay, speaking of being taken out though, there is the one scene where she gets arrested. And she's pleading to Deepak, like, please listen to me, please listen to me. Deepak has this like melodramatic moment. In that particular scene, I was slightly out of it, where I was like, ooh, this feels a bit dramatic.
What was it that he said or did that took you out of it?
I think he was just doing like this, I don't know, his acting in that scene where he's like, I don't want to listen to anything. No, like, I don't know. I feel like maybe I would have liked a few more dimensions in his performance where slightly more nuanced, because everything so far has been very, subtle and this and that. It felt melodramatic, not dramatic.
I kind of get what you mean when you say that.
Yeah.
Given that his character is just a very mellow, soft-spoken character, it would be very tough to kind of change that, like to go from that to, I'm so mad at you, how dare you do this to me, you almost ruined my life, and like that, along with the scene where like he's like drunk with his friends, and one of his other friends says something about Jaya, like about Jaya, like just marry her instead, like forget about fool. And he gets mad, like he tries to beat him up or something. Even that was a bit like, okay, this is not your role, but you are acting like you're mad and drunk.
Or I feel like it was like here and then here. I didn't see a turn up when it comes to the performance.
It either should have been gradual, or it like something about the performance could have been
slightly better. Yeah, I agree. I think that was the one scene where I was like, I'm out of it. A little bit, because where it's like, it's hard to show anger when you're a chill, mellow character. Like, how do you do that? But what I thought was missing in that part was betrayal. I couldn't see betrayal in his eyes, because that's what he's mad about for her, right? He thought she's this innocent girl who's trying to go home, but he felt betrayed that she's doing everything in her power to not go home. You could have called, but you had a phone, but you didn't call.
Especially given the fact that like when she first came to their house, he made a promise to her saying, whether I find my wife or not, I will make sure you get home.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I get what you mean. But he still had like great acting throughout the film.
He was very charming.
Yeah.
Towards the end of it, when the friend is like, tell her this, and he's like, and tell her this, like, tu hi bol. I think that like, because the actor was such a charming guy, it worked. It's just that one scene where I was like, everything's perfect, just this one tiny thing.
I like that you brought up that one interaction between him and his friend. Did you feel that there was some sort of romance between
Definitely.
Jaya, Pushpa, and his friend?
Facts. I think, see, that's what I meant. It felt very tender, where it's so subtle. For me, the scene where she tells them about the sticky trap and all that in the field, I thought it was very cute.
That scene was good, but that hint of romance between two, possibly controversial opinion, it felt a little forced.
You thought it was forced?
Just a little bit.
What part of it felt forced?
The fact that there was like, ooh, a little bit of giggling and like, oh, there's some tenderness between these two characters. Like that's his friend. He's meant to be helping him find his wife, not really getting close to this other random stranger
Who is married.
Who is married, exactly.
Even though we don't know that she doesn't like her husband, but he...
Exactly.
Yeah.
To him, that's a random stranger who is married.
Yeah.
Who also is looking for a way to get back home to her husband. That shouldn't have been there.
Okay.
Or if it was from her side, not from his side, because I don't know. Like, do you think that is how people would act in that situation?
I feel like, I mean, it was a crush from his side, and I thought it was very subtle, where it's like he can dismiss it if he wanted. So I didn't think it was a big deal. Was I rooting for them to get together? I didn't care. Because I was more invested in, okay, like she needs to go study, she needs to go do this. So,
but we didn't even know that until
end of
way
it.
later, yeah.
But even till we get to that point, I was like, okay.
I was just like, I just want to know what her game plan is. And in that moment, I was like, is she manipulating him because she knows that he has a thing for her, or what? Like, seriously, what's your game plan?
Tell me your game plan, please. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I didn't. To be honest, I didn't root for any of the romances. I more rooted for the friendships and the found familial love.
I was a huge sucker for Phool and Deepa. Oh my gosh, they're so cute.
They're very wholesome.
Like it's very cute.
And it's good to see more. So I expected Deepak to start like falling for Jaya and that being a romance.
I was hoping that would not happen. I'm so glad it didn't.
I'm so glad, because we saw him genuinely care for Phool, and like even when he's helping her in the start to get on the bus, it felt very like, okay, I care for my wife. This is. It was a very positive representation of marriage and a husband being a very caring and actually a good person.
I like that it transitioned from him doing his duty as a husband to having a flashback where he actually admits that he loves her.
Yeah.
And that's why he's doing all that.
Yeah.
Like because they were both arranged marriages.
Yeah.
Right. So it is expected for the husband to act protective and whatever, and then like to go back to his village after the wedding and to just be protective.
Yeah.
Because he's a husband.
That's what he's supposed to do.
That's what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
But then showing that there's not just what he's supposed to do, but he wants to do it. Like that changed the way I saw him, and I had like so much more respect for him as a character.
Agreed.
And like you said, I'm honestly glad that they didn't even suggest any possible romance between him and Jaya or Pushpa, whatever her name is. Like it wasn't even a thing. It was just like, I'm going to help you get home and I want to find my wife because I love her.
Yeah. That was a very good character motivation to have.
100%.
So after you watched this film, I remember you texting me that you cried towards the end of the film.
I almost cried. I'm not ashamed to say when I do cry, I do cry when I watch really sad or just good movies.
So let's move on to the ending of the film. Why did you cry? What did you like about it? What did you not like about it? What were your thoughts?
I related to the fact that all Pushpa wanted to do was just pursue her dreams.
Okay.
Right? That's her main goal, that's her motivation, and that's it. Whether people got hurt or not or whatever, she wanted to pursue her dreams, but at the same time, kind of keeping that aside to help this one poor man who is stuck in the situation because of her.
Okay.
Because she went along with the...
But she couldn't see, right? She that was an honest mistake because of the ghungat.
That is true. I thought that maybe she knew what was happening, or was that not revealed in the middle or no?
No, because when she was explaining, she's like, I couldn't see because of the veil, and and in the start.
I thought that was just her excuse, like.
Actually, it could be. Because then she talks about how, like, if I'm getting an opportunity to escape, why would I say
Yeah, she mentioned that.
Possibly, yeah. Possibly.
So that, like, her wanting to, like, pursue her dreams, that I related to. Like, my entire family can relate to that, as I would say. Like, my parents, thank God that they are so supportive of what I do and have always pushed me to pursue my dreams and stuff. And I just wish that my parents also had that opportunity for themselves.
Yeah.
My mom more so than anyone. Shout out to my mom. Love you.
Love you, auntie.
So yeah, that kind of made me a little emotional.
Okay.
And it just made me feel even more thankful for the opportunities that I have been blessed with, for the family that I am in.
Yeah.
And the people that I know because of that. That was my main reason for getting a bit emotional in that ending scene.
It's pretty wholesome. My favorite part about the ending was reunited at a railway station. I think so many Bollywood movies do that,
yes.
But it works every time. It's the DDLJ formula. You cannot go wrong with it.
If it ain't broke,
don't fix it. Agreed. And Kiran Rao,
yeah,
great job. Great. Again, cliche, but there's a reason why it's a cliche. But it was really cute. Like, they reunite, and I think the song plays again, for the final time. And obviously, Pool was found because of Pushpa.
Yes.
Which is a good touch. They could have had Deepak be the savior at the end of it, but they were like, actually, no, she did.
Yeah, I'm actually glad you brought that up. It's a good thing they didn't have the guy be the savior, but just a bystander for pretty much the entirety of the film.
Because he's a very passive character.
Yeah.
He didn't purposely, lose her, and he didn't purposely find her. He was just there while it happened. And I like that the whole Bhabhi's character drawing her comes into picture. It's not just a useless talent that she thought it was.
Yeah, I thought it was just like, just a bonding moment for them, or like, okay, we're pushing women in STEM. No, we're women to pursue their dreams.
Yeah.
So it was a great story moment, but it was brilliant foreshadowing.
Yeah.
For her to use.
Foreshading, you mean?
Oh my God.
Yes. Sorry. Continue.
You made me forget my train of thought. Thanks for that.
That
train
was
of thought.
Train.
Yeah. That's
okay. Back to the railway station. Speaking of train, so I like that was the angle they took. I like that the phone came into picture again.
Yes.
She's using her phone to get away from her bad family, but
also to help
another family.
Yeah.
I like that. It's got layers, I like. Also, I noticed a comment in one of the reviews where it was like, Pushpa had ambition, she wanted to do this and that, but Pool's ambition was also to be reunited with her husband and just be a married woman, which is also a pretty good motivation to have.
It's how she was raised, and it's what actually brings her happiness as well.
Yeah, she wants that, and she wants to support her husband, and luckily she has a good husband, so it won't be that hard for her to do.
I love how they showed, to add to your point, like they showed two sides of what it is to be a woman.
Yeah, womanhood. There can be multiple things.
Yeah, you can pursue your dreams to help better your country, which is what she was doing for farming.
Agreed.
Or you can just be there to support your family and
make good kalakand.
Yes.
Yeah.
It looks so tasty, by the way. I want to try
the rose
that.
petals.
Oh, yeah.
I wish I was at that railway station and she was, the dadi.
And I was just steal more chutney.
Go 4 times, 5 times. So, to conclude, I think it'd be safe to say that we liked the film. No, hated it.
Horrible. 0 out of 10.
Don't watch it.
Don't even think about it. Yeah.
So, if you had to rate the film, if you had, out of 5.
Out of 5.
Out of 5 missing ladies.
5 missing ladies, I would lose 4 ladies. No.
Give it 1 star?
Give it
1 star, okay. Really hated the film, alright.
Wait, what is this rating system?
So I had this joke prepared where I was like, so there are 2 missing ladies, double the tension, 4 out of 5.
Okay.
That was my joke.
Oh, okay.
Which is so funny because I just explained it, so it makes a joke funnier.
See, if you told me about this rating system before, I would have had some funny joke as well. Thanks for not telling me.
I like my guests to be improv funny.
Okay.
So if you can come up with
I'm not improv funny, dude. I'm just...
your regular funny.
Yeah. I'm funny. Cool.
I'm so nice to all my guests.
Yes.
Okay.
But yeah, 4 out of 5
4 out
as
of-
well. That's what I was...
That's boring. You don't have a rating system?
Okay, fine. 4.5. And the half is for the sweets that we get to share. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm trying too hard.
That's fine. That's fine. I will laugh. Good one, Sid.
Thank you.
So, we enjoy Laapata Ladies. Would you want people to watch this film? And if you do, where can they find the film?
I already actually texted my parents about it. I texted my sister, my mom. I told them, watch this film, please, while you can. It's on Netflix. Watch it. It's there. It's great. It's not life-changing, but it is a great watch.
Yeah, I think you guys will have fun. It's also you can watch it with your entire family because it's
Yeah.
pretty family friendly as well.
It's not even like a PG film. It's like a general...
It's a G
Yeah,
film.
yeah.
G, good one. Netflix, please pay us, please. Note.
Hyperjump Productions, you know where to find us.
So anyway, this was my first episode with a guest ever. Thank you, Sid, for being on the pod. It was lovely to have you.
It was awesome being here.
I'm glad you enjoyed the film. I remember telling you, oh, watch this. Oh, but you won't like it maybe. But I'm glad you did.
I loved it. I had a great time.
Thank you, Amir Khan Production. But yeah, thank you for being on the podcast. It was lovely. Anyway, by the way, budget. I just want to say budget.
Yeah, multiple cameras. Look at that.
And a live editor behind the
and
screen.
lighting and a sound person as well.
We're all decked out. We called our interns. We were like, we need you guys.
It's just our interns in the back right now.
Okay, can we hear Zyrus? Can you say hi to the camera? That's just him. It's one hand.
Yeah.
Aerien, can you say hi to that camera? We hire hands, you guys. We don't need people anymore. But
all hands on deck.
good one. Ouch. But thank you so much for listening to this episode / watching it. And we will come back to you with another episode. Thank you, Zyrus. But thank you so much for watching this episode. We hope you liked it. And if anybody at Netflix or Amir Khan Production, if they're watching this, hi, I am unemployed. Not really. I'm not. I'm literally at work.
What are you trying to say? Is this your 2 weeks notice? No.
With heavy heart, I regret to inform you. Anyway, thank you so much for which camera? There are too many cameras. Like I'm having. Anyway, Sid, anything you want to plug or talk about?
Yes.
You can.
So I have my own podcast as well. It's called Couple of Cinephiles. It might be rebranding to something else, but you can find us on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Couple of Cinephiles. Find us on Instagram as well. CO Cinephiles, actually. That's the handle.
Thank you so much for plugging another podcast on your company podcast.
Yes, thank you.
Definitely keeping that into the video. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this episode. I'm gonna... Which camera? Can we do this camera? Anyway, thank you so much for watching this episode. I will see you guys with another movie review, maybe on a Tuesday to keep you on the edge. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye!
See you!
Bye! Done. How long was that?
41 minutes.
Oh my gosh!
Guys, you guys are yappers.
41 minutes. We talked for 41 minutes?